So good morning, Facebook friends. I just thought I would take a brief little moment to do a little bit of a recap as far as to what happened last night and, the big win for Knoxville and Knoxville Fiber. That was super, super exciting last night. We got to see history happen. I mean, Knoxville has needed a fiber internet infrastructure since before Chattanooga got one. And so, for us to just now, 11 years after Chattanooga did, step up and start to be forward thinking about this. And yeah, maybe we should have a local infrastructure. This is something we should have done a long time ago. So the takeaway for the night last night for me was this. KUB is going to go up on their rates anyway, because they always go up on their rates. They're going to roll out a fiber smart grid anyways, because that's a smart thing to do, pun intended. We never agreed with their whole wireless smart grid. That was stupid. Speaking of which, right there's my wireless smart grid. I wish it wasn't here. So they're going to roll out a fiber smart grid anyway. And the question is whether or not we're going to be able to use internet traffic on it, right? So you're going to pay for it. You're already going to pay for the grid upgrades. You're already going to pay for the fiber upgrades. And it's just a question of whether or not you're going to be able to use internet on it. So I'm for it. I say we use that, and I say we use the income from the broadband to offset the cost of the grid improvements. So that's what I learned last night. That's my takeaway. It's almost like lip service in a little way that they're even letting us have internet access on the back of their super fast fiber network. So, but yeah, that'll be what we get from day to day. I mean, the grid's not always going to be going down, but we'll always be using internet over it. So it'll be great. And I'm super excited about it. It's something we need and I'm very passionate about. So we started doing KnoxFi in 2015, trying to get people excited about this and get people talking to KUB, calling the mayor, calling the city council, and none of this stuff could happen. Like we were pushing this. Madeline, I love Madeline. She wouldn't do it. She was not interested in doing it. And the old KUB board was not interested in doing it at all. They loved their wireless smart grid. And that was it, You want to talk to me about fiber? Here's our, KUB white paper that'll, tell you why we didn't go that way. And, it took new leadership in city council, a new mayor, and new KUB leadership for this to happen. So it's just a huge win for Knoxville. I didn't get to do a video last night after it, so I was a little tired. It went till late last night. It went till 11 o'clock at city council, but it was really super exciting. It voted 8-0, so it was unanimous. There was one person that was abstained from voting, Andrew Roberto, who is good. He's a good city council person, and he fights for the people. I've heard that from people, and I believe that. And I think he just wanted to, to just wait on this a little bit. But from what I heard last night, they're going to do it anyway, right? Like they're already going to roll out the fiber network and they're going to charge us for it. Your rates are going up anyways. I mean, I know that's not good news, but KUB's rates always go up and we don't always get, fiber internet on the back of that. So at least now we're going to get something for it and that should make things exciting. So anyways, I'm going to thank you all who are jumping in here now. It's good to see you all. Now I have some people that are watching this. So I'll recap what I just said. So we won last night. Super excited. I don't know if you all have seen the stories yet, but we won 8-0 last night. So that's super exciting. We will have fiber internet in Knoxville now. So they're saying that they're going to roll it out by 2022, which is, it'd been nice if it was about 12 years ago in 2010 when Chattanooga did it, but here we are now. So the takeaway from last night's meeting is that we're already going to be paying for this, that this is something that KUB is going to do anyway. They're going to go up on their rates anyways because that's what KUB does. They had already had a 6% rate hike planned for the next little bit. And then they were also already going to do a fiber smart grid upgrade. So this stuff was already happening. The question is whether or not we were going to get super fast internet out of the deal. So, yeah, we should do that. I mean, why wouldn't we do that? Who is against fiber internet in Knoxville? Literally, the only people who spoke out against it last night, there was one young man who spoke out, very well spoken. He had good points, and his points were about, the rate increase, which is a really, a good, thanks, Jennifer. It was a very good point that he made. I mean, I think that it is a big deal, that the rates are going up. But like I said, the rates are going up anyways. This is freaking KUB we're talking about. So, but the rest of the people who spoke against it in opposition were literally lobbyists from DC, from Nashville, from Georgia. Like, none of these were local people. Like, people flew in out of town to talk to us, and I'm not entirely sure why. They felt like, well, actually I do know why. I mean, I'm being coy, but I don't think that they really get to have that much input on what is going on in Knoxville. I mean, DC lobbyists. Why do we need DC lobbyists telling us what we can and can't do in Knoxville? Okay, and I'll just remind you all of the surrounding counties, most of the surrounding counties in Tennessee, but most of the surrounding counties around us have municipal fiber networks, okay? We're talking about Loudoun County, Lenoir City. We're talking about Morristown. We're talking about freaking Newport, man. Newport has got better internet than us. Morristown has a really fast fiber network. All of these, Dandridge is rolling one out. My good buddy Eric Ogle is rolling that out there. All of these surrounding counties have better internet than us. And what do we have? We're stuck with one option, that is super slow in a lot of areas, spotty in other areas. This was brought up time after time last night. There's people who don't even have any internet options. Like, they have a wireless, like a little MiFi, like a little, wireless access point, and that's their main internet connection. So it is absolutely crazy that we would think that could do the trick, right? After the last year that we had, after people remote working and doing Zoom calls every day. You can't do a freaking Zoom call over a wireless network. If you do, you're not going to be there. You're going to get left behind at your job. Remote school. I mean, that's the same thing, right? All the Knox County kids, they were doing Microsoft Teams, which I definitely recommend. Microsoft Teams is cool. But yeah, they were doing Microsoft Teams, and that's the same thing as a Zoom call. It's going to be a lot of upload speed, right? So you're going to be online, you're going to be sending all this data up into, the video server, wherever it's at. And then telemedicine too. I don't know if you all have done telemedicine, but a lot of people did telemedicine this last year because you can't get to a doctor's office anymore because, you just can't. It's hard. And hey, why do you need to go to the nurse practitioner down the road when you can talk to a real doctor that might be in like Boston or Chicago or something, like really good medicine, like you can get it remotely now, right? Same symptoms, same treatment. They can call in your prescriptions for you. So telemedicine's a big deal. That's video conferencing. All of this video conferencing that's happening is going to be enabled by good connections going back and forth between the phones and the people using them. So we need this, and that's why we need a good synchronous internet connection, right? Synchronous means the same upload speed as download speed, right? So Comcast's network, they're all talking about, oh yeah, we got this gig network. No, you have a gig down, you have 40 megs up. Like, that is so slow. Mine is like 25. I can't even get 40. He said 40 last night. And Lauren Ryder asked a really good question of, they were talking about doing some upgrades. Comcast is like, oh, we're going to schedule some upgrades, Yeah, it's a little too late. Why haven't you already done this if this is a problem for us? So, Lauren asked the question. She said, well, the rollout you're doing, is that going to be synchronous? Are we going to get a gig upload speed too? No. He said, well, we're testing that in some markets. They're not going to roll that out. That's not what they can do. Their network does not support that. So, hey, Rush, yeah, it is going to be great. It's going to be absolutely great. And it's going to be great for our kids, and it's going to be great for our grandkids. I mean, this is looking forward to the future. This is something that is huge for us to, looking forward as a city. This is like how Knoxville moves forward and into the future, into the bright, shining light of the future that is fiber optics. So the takeaway, Rush, I don't know if you heard me say this or not, but we were already going to pay for some upgrades to KUB's network. So None of this. I mean, the rate hike was going to happen anyways, so they were already going to do a KUB fiber network, so we might as well get internet on the backs of it. If not, it would just be the fact that, we would just be paying for more expensive electricity, and then we would still be paying for more expensive internet connections. So, that's obviously why Comcast and AT&T were very much interested. I'm still interested to see how this develops. I don't think the opposition is done, but I think last night was a really big win for us. They're trying to roll this out by 2022. So we're talking about next year. I mean, that's, they most definitely do, Rena. Yeah, thank you for tuning in too. I mean, it's a huge issue, man. Like, this is something we've been fighting for since I found out about it, and Chattanooga was doing it in 2010. That was a bold move to do it 11 years ago, right? Like, what we're doing now, we're kind of playing catch up. And Jennifer, I see your comment too. Yeah, that's a big deal. Everybody, so we're losing people, and I mean, Knoxville is a city. We're losing people because we don't have fast enough connections. We're losing students. We're losing businesses, like whole businesses. Like, so one of the people last night, Tommy Smith on City Council, he's also on a board with Chattanooga, and so he gets to see a lot of people who are, who skip over Knoxville and they just go on down to Chattanooga because they have that super fast internet. Like, if you're looking at cities and you're looking at where to open up a warehouse or a factory or a big business, why would you go somewhere that has, Stone Age internet? Like, it's a utility. Like, would you go somewhere that didn't have power, that didn't have water, that didn't have, basic utilities? So a big shift in thinking that has to happen is, this is a utility, right? Internet is a utility nowadays. So for people to really look at Knoxville as a serious city that they want to move to and they want to get serious about and start a family in, start a business in, we have to start thinking about internet as a utility. So super important. I feel like I'm rambling in circles now. I could talk about this forever. This is super exciting. But thank you all so much for tuning in, and thank you all for your support. This has meant a lot to me over the years, and so it's good to kind of maybe take a breather for just a second and be happy that we've got this done. So take care, everybody. Leslie, I saw your question. That's a good question. I don't know. They haven't rolled out a lot of the details. So they're upgrading their smart grid. So their smart grid right now is wireless based. This is KUB I'm talking about. And so this will affect all of KUB's footprint. This is not just Knoxville or Knox County. This is also Granger County and also Union County. So Union County's mayor was there last night, super excited. They don't even have internet in half of their county. Don't even have internet because KUB won't roll it out. This is like the biggest no-brainer. So the upgrade is going to be they're upgrading their old network from a wireless smart grid to a fiber smart grid. They're already doing this. KUB is going to do it. They don't need city council's permission to do it. They don't need city council's permission to go up on rates. I know that's probably not good news, but they don't. So they're already doing this. The question is whether or not we're going to get fiber internet out of this. And I think we should. I really do, because why wouldn't we? It's a good economic move. It's a good education move. It's a good move for families and businesses. So, that's the upgrade. So they're starting to roll it out by 2022. They're going to start with underserved areas first. So I would assume that would be places that don't have any option. So it's super exciting. So thank you all for your support, and go to KnoxFi's page and like it and follow it, and let's stay connected with this. The next big move for KnoxFi is to make sure that they do roll it out with equity, that they use local resources responsibly, that they roll it out to low income folks the most first, people who need it the most, that they roll it out to rural areas, poorer communities that don't have internet options now. I mean, it's nice for me living in the suburbs, to have another faster internet option, but there's people who don't have internet options. So this could be a big game changer for them. So take care, you all. Have a great day.